Today, I want to share with you all the secrets, everything you need to know before you even think about flying to Zanzibar.
I'm a OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side.
One thing which I couldn't believe is actually true is that if you need money, and of course every one of us, we need money, the only ATMs you find on whole Zanzibar are here in Stone Town. Let me start with how will you get here. So I think the best way is really you take a plane and you come here. And I was like first thinking, okay, let me maybe go via road, but then I have to take a bus up to Dar es Salaam, which can take you like, I don't know, 8 hours. Then you have to cross with the ferry, and then you most likely will have to sleep there overnight. And I was like, no. All this trouble is too much for me, not unless you're planning to visit Dar es Salaam. So I was like, okay, let me just get an airplane. And I chose to fly with Precision. We just arrived here in Stone Town, and it was written everywhere like the taxi is about 35,000 Tanzanian shilling, which I believe is around $15, 15 euros. But then I was like, okay, let me just try and bargain because we are used to that in Kenya, and it worked. And I was like, no, without knowing, I had no clue. I told him, no, I'm paying 20,000, or we are going with the bus. And then he's like, okay, talk to another guy, another driver, and he's like, okay, take this driver, he will take you for 20,000. So I want to share with you my favorite. Let's start with the rooftop. There are so many rooftop restaurants here, but I think one of my favorite was from Emerson. So just check out Emerson, it was my thing. What I loved is that on top of there, you actually had to remove your shoes, then you walk barefooted, and it felt like for me, you are like getting into a new culture, like it's very Islamic style. Even the same when you go to the mosque, you remove your shoes just to be more clean. And then you eat on the floor basically, like you have the cushions, you sit down. So I found it a very relaxed feeling. But the other side is, to be 100% transparent with you guys, it's very windy up there. I found it like you can go there and enjoy, have a beautiful view and over entire Stone Town. But because of the wind, my favorite place, and it's also by Emerson, funny way, is that they have a secret garden. And you don't have any clue from outside that inside there is a garden. And that's why I was fascinated. So when we went there, and I feel like if you come early, like the way we came early, it was literally just us being there. And we made sure we are there before lunchtime. So lunchtime, I think majority of the people will start arriving by around 1:30 or 2. So be there earlier. You basically have the entire place for yourself, and that is really cool. Then another thing which I loved, one of my other favorite places here in Stone Town, is actually taking a boat from Forodani, and then you take a boat to the floating restaurant. And first I was like, this is just another floating restaurant, I've been on so many, but this one, I loved it. Like, it's one of the best places in Stone Town to see the sunset, and you just ask if you can go up on top facing the sunset, and that's one of the best. But I've also heard, and have not yet experienced it myself, because that's where we're going to travel in a few days, is actually that if you go to the northern parts of Zanzibar in Kendwa, is where you will have the most beautiful sunsets ever of entire Zanzibar. So yeah, in general, I think that if you want to travel more out of Stone Town, and you want to say like, because Stone Town does not have the best beach, I'm just 100% honest with you guys, it's not. It's more like for having that feeling of getting into a completely new culture. Like, I love just walking through Stone Town, trying different food, and sorry, I'm a foodie, I like eating. Or what I actually love more than food is having a good coffee. Like, there's one of the best coffee places, and what I tried there was a spiced coffee. And this is just something like, it's local Tanzanian coffee, and I've never experienced something like that anywhere else, and I think there's no copy of that. You only get this there. So if you want to have such experiences, you have to be in Stone Town. Also like having these typical pictures of walking through Stone Town, seeing the famous doors and doors. I found it just like, I don't know, it reminds me a bit of Kenya in Mombasa or Lamu Island, which I also like walking through Old Town in Mombasa. So it reminded me of that feeling, and it is beautiful just to walk around, shop through the streets, and this one you can only do in Stone Town. So even if you want to go to the beautiful beach side, to your beautiful hotel, still plan a few days in Stone Town when you create your holidays around here. I want to give you a few more tips and tricks. So first of all, I am here in a really cool hotel. It's called Almina, and why I like it, why I chose it, is because I'm not a fan of the big fancy hotels. I mean, of course, who doesn't like being the most luxurious hotel? But I just don't think it's worth it to spend hundreds of dollars per night. So I think this hotel here, it is not the cheapest, I'm not lying, but at least I feel like it is like a family, it's a small home. So anyway, enough from that hotel. I met up with Ali J, and he is one of the YouTubers here as well, and a local guide. So he can share with you guys the experiences of, like, from a perspective of a local. And also what I learned is that you should not just trust any beach boys or any guys showing you around, taking you around. I mean, you can. I think Zanzibar, to be honest, is pretty safe. But if you want to have a real authentic experience and learn about the history and the culture of this place, then you need to have educated guides who can also like share you the hidden spots and explain to you about the history and the culture. And he is one of them. One of the guides who can do that. And you can also say like you should only trust a guide who has like one of these tags. Or if you want, I can just link below like his I don't know, WhatsApp number or the company link, so then you can get to him directly and then he will take you around. Which is like, you can go on different day trips here, and I would definitely recommend you guys that you go out in the ocean and do some day trips. But if you don't want to end up overpaying, then even if you spend more money in your hotel, like you're one of the best hotels, but then you're like, I don't need to overpay. So you could go to a hostel or a cheaper hotel and ask there for the activities. And then the funny thing is they choose the same tour operator, but you end up paying less money. What I would recommend you is, of course, you can go to the best restaurants and you can go anywhere. But to have the true, real experience, and that's the best thing now for lunch, is that you go to a local restaurant. And I would not just go to any, like one of the best, and I've also experienced and asked around and really truly researched, is Lukman. So we went there actually a couple of times because this is the real Zanzibar food style. The best beaches and also the best like party vibes and everything is actually in Kendwa, so the northern parts of Zanzibar. But also, when it's always like the best beach and this kind of things, it's also the most touristy. So if you are someone who is like, okay, I don't need to go to the best beach, but I would rather have my peace of mind and enjoy and maybe be somewhere where not everyone else is, then I would recommend you to go to maybe the eastern side, so the east coast, instead of going to the northern parts. For example, to Paje. And I'm excited for our trip to the northern parts because there's also a place where you can swim with turtles, and I have to find out how real it is and if it's really recommended to swim with turtles. Like for now I'm excited, but it might end up just being like, maybe it's not good for the animals if you actually swim with them. So I want to go there and check it out, and then I will let you know in my next video.